Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got an awful rack, lots of vowels, and U and V. Is it bad enough to change? Certainly if opponent changes, I think I will. Not seeing anything great with this rack alone. But if the right floater is available, there may be a better play, but certainly I am minded to change. And if I do change, certainly keep the N. Should I also keep one of the I's? Not sure. I think it'll depend on what vowels are on the board. Probably very little in that decision. In general, you keep your preference is to have 2 more consonants than vowels. But keeping a vowel guarantees that you're not with an entirely consonant rack. Now, just the 3 tiles from opponent. Do any of them suggest a play better than changing? Well, I have Vino, but not overlapping completely. So I have the Ischen ending. No, I'm not seeing anything great. I don't think changing can be a bad move here. And I think I will keep one of the I's. Okay, well, I draw the Z, which is good. U less so, but I do have Uzo on my rack. OT not good, otherwise that would play to the left of Not. Not takes an E and a T after it, and an A. I'm not seeing a bingo with this rack. But not much on offer with the board at the moment, with just a 3-letter play. I was just wondering if I could get my Z tripled. Great bingo by opponent. I'm not able to reply in kind. So what can I do here? Any good spots for the Z? What about getting the Z doubled through this T? No. How about somewhere good for Uzo? Well, I do have it across the top of Tartana. 29 points, that's not bad. Row H not massively dangerous. Tsar only takes an S, but can I do any better? I'm not sure I can. It's quite handy being able to play off the U and 2 of the O's. I'm going with this. Well, just looking at this floating A, I think it's indexical, which is a 9. So I don't have the tiles for that. But I should be able to score off the X. 42 for opponent, that could have been worse. Now Zax is good. Tsar doesn't only take an S, it takes quite a few tiles. Can I get the X to play twice? Well, I don't think I can, which is a shame. That would be a really big score. Nut doesn't take an E, otherwise I could have index in that spot, and Gion has blocked index. What about playing just the X? Rackleave isn't terrible, goes well with any vowel, and there is a couple of floating vowels, 3 including the E of Gion, and 38 points. I'm going with this. Well, I don't draw a vowel, but this looks pretty promising. Do I have anything through the A? I don't think I have a 7 with this rack. I don't think dentical is good, it's dentical. In which case column 2, dentical. Fantastic. That's probably the less obvious lane to block, and quite hard to do so with this J. Great. Opponent doesn't block. Has he provided anything better? Do I have anything beginning with O? No. This is going to score quite well because the C will get tripled. Dentical for 84. And a pretty non-bingo-y pickup, but scoring tiles. And I have the lead, which didn't look particularly likely after my opponent played his bingo down and I hadn't scored anything. D not massively dangerous in row A. Still one blank to come. Now my F can go underneath the... Wow! Underneath the eye of Yips. Another bingo for opponent. And I'm not able to respond in kind. I'm a long way away from a bingo. So my problem tiles are F, K, U and W. Very hard to play off three of those. So it may take me a couple of moves. Do I have anything around this triple word square? Not seeing anything in row A. What about in column 1? Well, the best I can see there is U, keeping F-U-K-T. But over 30 points, so I need to keep that in mind. What about the Eye of Lieges? My F can go there. Can I get that to play twice? No vowel to go next to the L. No, not seeing that. I have weak. Maybe that's the best I can hope for. 30 points. That's better than playing EWE. I'm offloading another one of the big tiles. Am I missing any other spots? Weak would also play in column 1. Interesting. What would that score? 28 points, only 2 fewer. And it stops opponent from playing down column 1. So is this the play? Can I play off the F rather than the K? Few G is good. Possibly not spelt double E, but only 30 points, so I don't think that's better than weak. What about a play in row L? Well, I think that would need to end E, F, E, or U, F, E, and I don't have such a play. Okay, well, this doesn't feel great. But I am going with it. Wow, pretty good pickup. Looks pretty close to a bingo. Are there any lanes or floaters? Certainly not many floaters. This doesn't go well with the D. I have the full ending. Great, only 18 points for opponent. Opponent provides a floating U and a D. Trendful, not good. So I have Tren with the full endings. I don't think I'm going to find a bingo there. What about WE? Doesn't look good. What about EN? No, not seeing anything. Okay, 13 minutes on my clock. Now, do I have something in row L? I do, I have flute. Probably playing off more bingo-y tiles than I wanted to. However, 40 points is a good score and I'm creating a lane. I'm going with this. Well, I draw the Q, but I have an I to go with it and an N which also assists because of chin. And there's a floating U in Caudle. And look at this, I have feek down from the F. Will that remain available? That would be fantastic. That would leave a decent rack leave and score massively. Is there anywhere else for that? Well, there isn't, because I need an F, and the other F hasn't been played. And it's blocked. What a shame. So, what else is available? I would have Sank from the Sea of Denticle. That doesn't score massively. Do I have anything through the U of Caudle? Well, it's not going to score very much. I have Quin and Quino. 16 points. I could do with a much better score than that. I haven't seen anywhere for Chin. Have I looked everywhere? No, I haven't, because there is a spot down here. 18 points, what a shame. It's good to get rid of the Q, but sometimes you have the opportunity of scoring really well with it, and it's a shame to miss a good Q spot, but I'm just not seeing one on this board. This rack leave is quite promising, and opponent's player Frau has provided floaters, and W and H do go well together. And opponent's not going to score off the Q if I play Chin in this spot. But is this really the best Q spot? Well, I am not seeing anywhere better. I am going with this. Okay, so I have Warehouse in row O. Will that remain available? Warehouse, rather. And do I have an alternative bingo? What about the D of Caudle? Not seeing anything there. And do I have a 7 with this rack? I don't think so. Warehouse would bring me right back into this game. I only trail by 13. Opponent's lost contact or quit. Surely he will be back. He is, and he's played Fur. Fantastic. This is going to be a monstrous score. Look at this. The H gets doubled. Warehouse for 104. Bang! Fantastic. Back in the game with an 80-point lead. And an immense pickup of Immense. So, is Immensa good? Not totally sure about that, and I don't think Immenses is good. And is there anywhere for the 7-letter word? Gosh, what a turnaround in this game, and I had no alternative play to Warehouse. Nothing down from the J. Well, I have Jemmies, but no bingo. Let me check Immensa. And it's good. Wow. Will that stay available? Surely opponent's going to be attracted by the G of Legions. 21 tiles in the bag, fairly bingo-y, and a blank to come, but also 2 Vs. Could they be on opponent's rack? Now, D also available as a floater, not as useful as the R. Yes, look at that, opponent was drawn to the G like a moth to the flame, leaving Immensa alone for 76. And I now have a 130-point lead. 12 tiles in the bag. 7 vowels out of 19 tiles. I'm close to another bit. Wow, opponent's bingoed. 80 points. 5 tiles in the bag. If he bingos again, I could lose. I'm close to Page Boy. Not close enough. So, can I get value from the Eye of Immensa, or more importantly, the double letter square above it? I've got 3 candidate tiles for that spot. 10 minutes on my clock. So I was going to say Yogi. I have that on my rack. Now there's also row L. Could I have something across there? I would need an E for Boep. But let me come back to column 1 and exhaust vertical plays. I've got 11 minutes, which seems to be 1 minute more than I had a while back. And I'm just not seeing anything through this eye, which is ridiculous. There must be something. What about a B in that spot? No, Bygos has a sticky S. How about Y? No. How about P? No. Okay, well, let me look at alternative spots. What about bogey down here? Look at this, 42 points, leaving 1 in the bag. Surely that's the play. And if I get 40 points, 450, I'm 90 points ahead. I think I win even if opponent bingos. This is surely the play. Wow, opponent could have thieved. But does that play? Don't think it does. I don't have a bingo. But I think, well, 100-point lead. I'm in good shape. And I've got a balance rack with scoring tiles. My B can go underneath the A of disrated. How about column 1 at the bottom? Can I get, well, opponent's gone there for 39. So I lead by 60. He's got 4 tiles left. The game is won. 9 minutes on my clock. Now, what about bottom right? A can go in front of go. Only an A goes in front of YU from the tiles on my rack, and I do want to play off some of my scoring tiles. Is opponent going out? Well, he's got height, which I think is good, which plays in row B. And I think I ought to assume he can go out. So, what do I have here? BI or BA? L? Can I do any better than that? Both of my vowels can go underneath the D. No, not seeing anything better than 24 points. I feel as there is something better, so I am going to look for it for a short while. What about Fab? 27 points. Probably is slightly better. A chordal is good, but that's blocked. What about a play beginning AB or AP? Can I reach the double word square? No, not seeing a play. Now, what about column 12? Oh, I have pie ball for 20. I think that's better than Fab, because it's 8 points better in terms of count back. I am going with this. What about a play which is 1 square higher up? No, not seeing it. And this has blocked height. No, it hasn't, because it can play underneath the A of disrated if it's good. Supposing opponent doesn't go out, can I go out with Aga? Well, opponent doesn't go out, so maybe I was wrong about height. I do get another turn. Gamma is good, so I certainly am going out. But where's best? 9 minutes on my clock. If I'd only played the G off as well, I could have double A bottom right. Not seeing any extensions down here. Well, I have Aga here. I think this is probably best for 20. And the final score, 428 for my opponent, 501 for me, a winning margin of 73 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. I felt it was going against me from the start, but then in the middle, things changed. Now, this was opponent's opening rack. Bingos. What does he do? He plays not. Okay, well, although it looks like a lot of bingos, it's the same one 10 times. So if you don't see it, you don't see it. Now, this was my rack. I changed, and I like that. These scores and rack leaves are pretty poor. Opponent does now get his bingo down, and I trail by 70. K2, Ozone. Okay, what do? I play Uzo for 29. Certainly the best rack leave of the top moves here, and I'm only dropping 7 points, so I think Uzo is up there with the best plays. Opponent plays G on for 42. Could have played Zanjero. Maybe opponent saw that and didn't want to open the triple. My rack. And Zax for 38. That was my play. Opponent plays Yip. And I have Denticle, and that's the only bingo, so delighted to spot that. Short-lived joy because opponent gets his bingo down. And now I'm faced with this rack. And what's available? U, A1, I thought about that and didn't like the rack leave. So I go with weak at B1 for 28. And I like that, although it's in 10th place here, there's very few points separating the plays. And I think the rack leave of FTU is a lot better than FKTU. Now, opponent's rack plays Caudle. And I have Flute for 40. I could have got 42, F14. Look at that. In column 14, alongside Leeches, but providing access to column 15, so I prefer my play. No bingo for opponent, he's got the blank, he blocks Feek. And now, the biggest Q play is Requin, and I do want to play the Q, I don't have a U to go with it. So I play Chin for 18, and I'm happy with that. The Q is only worth about -9, but I just don't like it on my rack, especially when I trail. Now, missed bingo. Opponent has forwards and Frouards 05 through the W. Wow, what a turning point. If opponent had made that play, he would have blocked my subsequent bingo and back-to-back bingo. So here we go, warehouse for 104. And I think that's the plural of a type of fish rather than an alternative spelling of warehouse, the place where you keep things. And it was the only bingo, so delighted to spot that and to get it down, and it gave me a huge lead. And another missed bingo for opponent. He plays Gov, but H15. Could have played Advisors, and C1 could have played Endeavours. Hard to see as a 9-letter play. Now my rack, and Immensa is the only bingo, and that pretty much secured the win. Or did it? Because opponent comes straight back with an 80-point bingo, and my lead just 50 points with 5 tiles in the bag. So N11, bogey for 42. Yeah, that was my play, and that looks fine. No bingo for opponent, plays IV'd. And now I lead by 60, the bag is empty. C3, Ah, gap because of eng and kit. That's quite nice. Would I have been able to go out next turn with ABIL? Possibly. Not sure about that. But I play pieball for 20. So yeah, there may have been some better plays, but pieball left me with a rack that I could go out with, so I think that's in its favour. And, well, height isn't good, but shite is A4, down from the S. Scythe and scythe, so all the outs were down from this S. Opponent plays hit. And finally, C6, Arga. That was my play. So, what a game. Absolutely immense game, and it turned on bingos. Not all games do, but this one did. Opponent missed a few bingos, but most significantly, he missed forwards and forwards through the W, which left the door open for me to get down warehouse for over 100 points, which was followed immediately by a back-to-back bingo, and that pretty much gave me the game. So, all good fun. Many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.